The marble and veiled dynamics lobby looked like it was made to be watched, not walked on. Maya Carter knew every vein in it anyway. At 5:30 a.m., mop in hand, she was the kind of person buildings were designed to forget. That suited her. 8 years earlier, she had learned that staying invisible kept Noah alive. So she worked, eyes down, except her eyes never stopped tracking. 3 days running, a black SUV idled across the street. Two smokers loitered with the posture of men who'd never held a cigarette right. And this morning, the company sedan at the side entrance had a new driver, bigger, younger, sunglasses on before sunrise. When Ethan Vale, the 41-year-old CEO who belonged on magazine covers, reached for that door, Maya's body moved before her brain caught up. "Don't get in the car." Her shout ricocheted off glass. Ethan froze. The fake driver's head snapped toward her. The SUV surged, security shouted, bystanders filmed. Maya sprinted, yanked Ethan away, and the SUV knifed past the spot where his ribs would have been. When the noise settled, everyone stared at the woman with the mop like she'd just broken the rules of physics. They made her sit under a fluorescent light, while Security Chief Tom Kincaid and HR Selena Hart took turns making not an accusation accusations. Ethan found her afterward, the corporate polish cracked enough to show shock underneath. He thanked her, ordered a discreet escort to follow her home, then made a second call she wasn't supposed to hear. Pull a complete file on Maya Carter. Quietly. Noah didn't need the details to read her face that night. 17, all elbows and empathy. He was the only reason she'd disappeared after her parents' accident. When a text from an unknown number landed, "Stay out of things that don't concern you," she deleted it and told him it was a school notice. He didn't buy it. Neither did she when footsteps paused on their fire escape. By morning, everyone saw her. Junior execs parted around her like she carried radiation instead of bleach. Her supervisor muttered about rumors before Ethan himself walked into the supply closet like he'd never noticed it existed. He had one question. How did she know? She could have lied. Instead, she told him about pattern recognition, about the veteran's cap his real driver always wore, about the SUV that had tailed him for weeks. Ethan's eyes changed. Before either of them could decide what that meant, reporters flooded the lobby, and the board summoned her to the 40th floor to thank her and tell her to remember her place in the same breath. Then the lights died. Ethan's office went black, emergency power conspicuously absent. Glass ticked in the walls, and a red dot found where his head had been a second earlier. "Bathroom," Maya whispered, already dragging him. She punched out the window with a towel-wrapped fist. Wind knifed in. "There's a window washing rig 2 floors down," she said. Ethan thought she was insane. She was. They went anyway. Shots spidered the frosted glass behind them. The shooter followed. They slid along the ledge, jumped, hit hard. The motor on the rig whined too slow. Maya kicked the governor until the platform dropped like an elevator with its cables cut, friction screaming through her hands as she rode the brake. They slammed onto a balcony 3 floors up, alive and bleeding. Downstairs, chaos wore suits. Kincaid muttered about professional jobs and inside knowledge. Ethan said the word no one wanted to say, bored. In the cafeteria, place directors had probably never seen Maya, made them sit in plastic chairs while she laid out the obvious. Someone internal was feeding a crew. The board scoffed. Ethan didn't. He said a rival, Damian Crow, had been buying their stock in pieces. Maya suggested a trap, the charity gala tomorrow night. "You want to use our CEO as bait?" A director sneered. "You prefer him in a casket?" She shot back. That was the first controversy. The second came when Ethan agreed. Maya handpicked 12 guards she trusted and benched the rest. The FBI, tipped by someone anonymous, wanted in. She argued they'd only give the mole a seating chart. They backed off on paper. At the hotel, she placed a veil look-alike at one entrance and watched the room. A waiter touched his ear too often. A photographer aimed at exits, not faces. A woman glided like armor hid under silk. 6, maybe more. Olivia Sato, the legal chief, circled the donors. Philip Mercer, the COO, smiled too quickly, then slipped through a service door. Maya caught him in the kitchen. "Do it now. He's in position," he hissed into a phone. When he saw her, the mask fell. He reached for a gun. She took his legs out and kicked the weapon away. "Why?" she demanded. Philip bled and laughed. "Power." Ethan's soft. "Crow is useful. The architect is inevitable." The lights cut out. "Not just here, everywhere." Through earpiece static, Ethan yelled. 2 guards steered him toward an exit. Maya smashed a champagne bottle over one skull and dragged Ethan to the safe room she'd picked, then into a maintenance shaft when the door buckled. They dropped into the garage and met 6 rifles. Crow stepped out to clap and sirens cut him off. The FBI poured in. Crow surrendered. Philip melted into the dark. In a quiet corner with Agent Dana Ruiz, Maya kept her answers clipped. The agent didn't buy the janitor story. She had a name, the architect. Maya had another, Walker. It was the one she'd buried when her mother's forensic accounting found a money web connecting boardrooms and bodies. The network had killed her parents. Do you still have the files? Ruiz asked. No, Maya lied, which was true enough. She had memory instead. They didn't give her much time to decide what to do with it. The safe house where Noah was holed up went silent. Maya found the door splintered, her old friend Gabe crumpled on the kitchen tile, Noah tied to a chair, alive. They left this, Noah said, handing her a phone. Philip's voice came smooth on the line. Midnight. The Riverside factory. Alone. Or tomorrow the world learns who you really are, and your brother learns what foster care looks like. Check your apartment. They did. Someone had papered the walls with her life, surveillance shots, burned identities resurrected, a backdated warrant that would land her in cuffs before she finished explaining. At the center, copies of her mother's notes. She felt something colder than fear. Not only had the architect found her, they'd been curating her. She went anyway. The factory was all rust and echo. Philip brought 4 men and a sermon. Crow had been a pawn, he said. The architect was a role, not a man. He'd been auditioning to fill it. He offered her a deal. Join us. Your record vanishes. Noah gets a full ride to med school. Ethan resigns with a tasteful statement about stress. Say no, and she's branded a terrorist by morning. She pretended to consider it and broke a different kind of rule. You said no FBI? I agreed, she said, showing him a live stream. I never promised no witnesses. Every major outlet in the city ringed the building. The story had already left the room. His crew turned their guns at once, he and her, on him, on each other. The shot that came next didn't care. The FBI stormed the place anyway, Ruiz in the lead. Maya put Philip on the ground and cuffed him with his own zip ties. He bared bloody teeth. You think you won? The architect will come for you. Ethan, your kid brother, let them come, she said. I'm done running. At the field office, Philip traded names for air. The files in his bag read like a country's obituary. Buried in the stack was a video, a hooded figure offering Maya terms. Walk away now, and Noah goes to Johns Hopkins, residency guaranteed, life restored. Refuse, and her real identity surfaces along with evidence that Richard Vale, Ethan's revered father, had been an early client of the network. Not rumor. Wire transfers. Blackmail ledgers. Possibly worse. The threat wasn't subtle. Tell Ethan and destroy him, or protect him and let rot continue. She didn't sleep. In Ethan's office, she told him. He stared at the skyline, then at her. I've known for 3 years, he said softly. I found records after he died. I've been cleaning quietly, brick by brick. I didn't tell anyone because I couldn't trust anyone. He looked tired and free in the same second. They're using my father to break you. What are you going to do? The only thing left. 2 hours later, he stood under hot lights and detonated his inheritance. He laid out his father's crimes, promised cooperation, compensation, and consequences. Then he detonated his own job. I'm stepping down as CEO effective immediately, he said, and the room hummed like a struck wire. My replacement will be someone whose integrity isn't theoretical. Someone who already put her life between this company and the people trying to carve it up. Maya Walker will serve as interim CEO while we rebuild. Silence fell in layers: shock, fury, awe, contempt. Social feeds exploded. Was this visionary or obscene? A janitor to CEO felt like the purest meritocracy or the worst stunt, depending on who you asked. Shareholders threatened lawsuits. Employees cheered in private chats. The board circled like sharks around a new stain in the water. Ethan walked out of the blast radius and took her hand in the hallway, not caring who saw. This is a bad idea, she said, throat tight. It's also the only one that tells the truth, he said. You don't need to be a corporate lifer to know what's right. You've already done more for this place than anyone on that floor. Outside, cameras waited to trap them in a narrative. Inside, An empty corner office gaped toward a city that didn't forgive, didn't forget, and never stopped watching. Kincaid posted 2 guards outside Noah's door who answered to Maya, not Veil Dynamics. Ruiz texted a warning. The architect's network wasn't decapitated, just annoyed. Somewhere in the footage from the factory, a blurred figure turned away at the first Serena reminder that monsters who design systems don't rush the choke point. They apply pressure and wait. Maya stood at the window where Ethan had almost died and watched the marble gleam like still water. She had spent years pretending visibility was fatal. Now the spotlight found her whether she wanted it or not. The controversy would burn. The threats would multiply. The company would fight her even as it begged her to save it. She felt Noah's future like a weight and a compass. She wasn't the most dangerous person in the corner office. She was still the woman with the mop, only now the mess was hers to clean in public. And the people who had built the stain were coming.